You're listening to the Pizza Man Podcast, a weekly podcast with passion and opinions by your host, Fredi the Pizza Man. Give a follow and subscribe on iTunes, Facebook, and Twitter. Fredi loves your interaction. Keep it clean or meet Luca Brazzi, okay? Ask Mickey Mantle if he cares about you when your dad can't pay the rent. So let's do this. Drop what you're doing and take the cannolis. Because, Fredo, I knew it was you.
What's up, everyone? Welcome into the podcast. I am Fredi the Pizza Man. Fredi Bello, better known as Fredi the Pizza Man. Hope all is well. Let's get right into it. We're going to be talking pizza today with a friend of the show. He hasn't been on in a while, so looking forward to talking to him. We're going to be talking, he's got some things going on in his personal life, good things, and we're going to be talking about his website, NepaPizzaReview.com. They're in Pennsylvania, Northeast Pennsylvania. Some work he's doing with PMQ Magazine, a national pizza magazine. I guess if you want Sports Illustrated for sports, well, PMQ is basically a Sports Illustrated for pizza. And we're going to be talking March Madness, something he created, Pizza Madness and March Madness put together. So just real quickly, I just encourage you, please, to check out my website, FrediThePizzaMan.com. It's Fredi, thepizzaman.com. Tells you everything about my charity, how you can help, how you can donate, things we're doing for autism, and what Pop That Tab means. So Pop That Tab for autism awareness. So let's talk pizza. Friend of the show. Looking forward to talking to him. Jim Mirabelli. What's up, my man, Jim?
Fredi, a lot of everything going on, but it's good to make the return back to the show. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we haven't spoken in a while, and I'm mad at you because the Super Bowl. You guys won the Super Bowl, and the Lions still haven't won anything yet.
Well, keep plugging away. I think it's my one for the lifetime. But hey, I'm not one of those guys that have to win it every year. I'm content. So just still feels a little surreal for me. But you'll have your day, hopefully.
Well, I'm joking with you. I can never be mad at you. But kudos to you. If people remember, you're from Pennsylvania. You're a big Philly fan, Philadelphia fan. Good friend of mine
right
here, Michigan beer guy. Actually, today's his last day in Michigan. He's moving to Arizona tomorrow. So obviously he's a big Philadelphia fan. He watches everything Philadelphia, and I don't know if you caught it, but today, as we're recording, the Red Wings were losing by 4 goals today, and they tied the Philadelphia Flyers. Did you know that?
I'm watching the Kentucky game tonight. I'm a Kentucky fan, strangely enough, so I didn't catch that. But, wow, so that's a pretty big swing there. Yeah, but then
the Flyers end up winning in overtime, so it all worked out for the Flyers. And, the Phillies, speaking Philly versus Detroit, the Phillies, they got their World Series. It tanked for a while. Now their rebuild is coming along. The Tigers, they're a long ways away. The Eagles got their Super Bowl. The Flyers whipped our butt today. And the 76ers, Joel Embiid is still in Andre Drummond's head.
Embiid is superhuman. The guy's like a Tyrannosaurus running up and down the court. He's unbelievable, the guy is.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's talk pizza because I got to tell you, I think you eat more pizza than pizzeria owners. You know that, right?
I do, and when I talk to the pizzeria owners, and I say, hey, did you try this? And they say, no, I'm kind of sick of pizza because, they'll eat their own product once in a while. But, yeah, I don't get tired of it. I keep flying around. Now, I've had 4 pizzas in 2 days here, and somebody invited me to come try another one, and I said, nah, no thanks. I'll get to catch you next week. But, yeah, I don't really get tired of it, especially I'm eating a different pizza all the time, and they're all unique in their own way.
Absolutely. I never get tired of pizza myself. And, I usually eat a pizza every day, but, some days I will eat some days I'll eat a bunch, like 2 or 3 days in a row. And then I'm like, oh, shit, I got to stop for a few days. But, no, I totally understand. So, NepaPizzaReview.com. You're doing wonderful things there. You can find Nepa Pizza Review, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and definitely YouTube. He does a lot of great videos, does a lot of great things in the community. Since we spoke last, you've had an addition to the family.
That's right. Yes. So the last time we spoke, we were expecting a baby, and then almost 4 months ago now, we had our son. So it's been crazy but busy, and the whole experience has been wonderful. Sort of kept the pizza thing afloat in the meantime. So we're calling him the Crown Prince of NEPA. So a little addition to the first family of Nepa Pizza, as I like to call it.
Yeah, and I've seen some of the pictures. Absolutely adorable, and hope the family's well. I know your daughter's she's turning into a little entrepreneur like you.
Oh yeah, we're working on a charity lemonade stand at the Relay for Life in a couple of months here. So I'm going to sell some pizzas, and I think she's going to sell some lemonade. But hopefully, I'm not giving away her business plan or anything. But we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, I am grateful that too. Your daughter saved me some pop tabs and sent them through the mail. Very grateful for that.
Oh,
so.
She was so happy. Every day at lunch, the kids all come, and they say, are they going to send this to Fredi? And then they make sure, and then, we get a few here, a few there, and it added up to a nice little package.
Jim, I got to tell you, within people are wondering what we're talking about. Pop That Tab is something I created a couple years ago. It's basically for autism awareness, almost like the blue light. I compare it to the blue light they do in it's my version of the blue light they do in April, but Pop That Tab is all the time. In 2 years, I saved 201 pounds of pop tabs. You can only imagine how many that was.
Oh, where do you get the space to store them all, Fredi?
I ran out of room. That's why I finally woke up one day. I said, I got to get rid of these. I got to turn them in because I have nowhere to put them. So now I'm starting another pile.
Wow. Where did you take them? The scrapyard or is there a special spot?
Yeah, I took them to a scrapyard. I called around, and they pay you. I think it was like 42 cents a pound. I ended up getting for it, and when she told me it was 201 pounds, I was floored. I really was.
That's incredible.
Absolutely. So
it goes to such a great cause too. My day job's in the education space, and the things you're doing for those autistic classrooms is just unbelievable.
Yeah, you're going to see a video. I was on Channel 2 the other day, and they're going to post it next week. You're going to see a video, and I had to go into another room because, this is my fourth school I've done, and this one really, really hit me because I had a little bit more input on this room. I ended up getting more stuff. I ended up buying more stuff for this room, and I was more interactive with the teachers and the administrative staff there. We talked and texted a lot, and when I met everybody there all at the same time, it was very overwhelming. I had to go to another room and almost cry because I got there before class was over, so I got to see the kids in the class and using the equipment and how happy they were. It made me realize what this charity, when it started, I had an idea what was going on, what was going to happen, but to see it happen in 2.5 years. It was overwhelming. I think it's gonna kind of show up on TV, but we'll see. But anyways, enough about me. Let's talk NepaPizzaReview.com. What do you got going on with PMQ magazine? I know I saw something with that. Tell everybody that's listening what's going on with that.
Well, a couple of things. So PMQ and I worked together about a month or two ago on. We have a pizza around here called Old Forge style pizza. I think you have Detroit style out your way, but we have Old Forge style pizza, and PMQ was interested in what the best Old Forge in the region was. So I put together, I drove all over Northeast PA trying all of, the most recommended Old Forge pies or trays as they call them here. And I came up with the top 10, sent it in, and then wouldn't you know it, just this last week, PMQ flew out a team to sort of investigate and shoot some video on Old Forge Pizza, and they involved me in the process. So got interviewed, and looking forward to see what the end result of the whole thing is.
Now, is it going to be video form, or is it just going to be written in the magazine?
Well, I know for sure it's going to be on Pizza TV, which is PMQ's sort of YouTube arm. I know they have it on YouTube, but they also have a channel like on the Roku player or any of those streaming devices. They have their own, channel, so
Gotcha.
to speak.
Pizza TV.
Pizza TV.
And I saw a few clips of your stuff on YouTube, or excuse me, you posted on Facebook, correct?
I post YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Try to get it all out to the people.
All right. Now, I want to, when you talk Old Forge Pizza, now, I don't know if I'm right on this or not. I want to say about a month ago, I saw you post somebody, I think, passed away that was in the pizza business there for a long, long time. Am I saying that correct?
It was a newspaper article you're referring to?
Yeah.
Yeah. About 2 years ago, somebody passed away. He's actually still classified as missing, and they made, in my view, the finest Old Forge pizza in all the land, Gigerelli's. And so, there's some unfortunate circumstances, and, there's some media coverage on it. But we wish, the family the best, and we hope one day to be able to try that famous Gigerelli's pizza once again.
Gotcha. So, March Madness is around the corner, Jim, and you came up with something very creative. Pizza Madness, March Madness. What's it all about?
So everybody loves pizza. Everybody seems to love the NCAA tournament. So I sort of combine the two, and I do it as sort of an online competition for the different pizzerias in our area. So 64 pizzerias sign up, totally free, and they join it, and we put them in a bracket, 64 teams, and each round lasts 1 week, and they try to get votes through their social media or in the restaurant, and the winner, the person with the most votes advances to the next round. And after 6-7 weeks, we name a champion, and then they get to raise the banner in their restaurant for that year. And it's a great thing. A lot of excitement. We get hundreds of thousands of votes. A lot of people passionate about their favorite pizzerias, and they get out there and they churn out the vote. And really, the big message is, shop local, eat local, and support small businesses. And it's just a way to get these small businesses some exposure, because they don't have the marketing budgets that the chains have. So let's face it.
Absolutely. Now, you're a Kentucky Wildcat fan. I think I remember that, and I know you mentioned at the beginning of the podcast. Do they have a chance?
Mm-hmm.
Did they have a chance this year?
I think they have as good a chance as any, and it seems like Calipari's sort of pulling them together at the right time. Now, they had a tough loss earlier in the week, but I think, the championship teams, you need to sort of hit some adversity along the way. And, Duke's not perfect. We're playing Tennessee tonight, the number one team in the nation, and seem to be off to a good start, good first half. So, we'll see. Anything can happen in the bracket, though.
Well, let me ask you before I let you go. How does a guy in Northeast Pennsylvania become a Kentucky fan, not a Villanova fan?
Well, I happen to like the Wildcats, right? So
okay.
I happen to also be a Villanova fan, but sort of I wanted to go to Villanova when I was in high school until I found out how much the tuition was there. So I sort of backed off. But I guess Kentucky, was winning when I was young. I was, 10 years old, and, Tubby Smith and Rick Pitino were the coaches there. And I sort of just enjoyed what they had going on, and, a lot of great players and stuff. And when Christian Leitner hit the foul line jumper against us, so back in those times, I'm not sure what drew me to them other than, they were successful at the time, I guess. And I don't change teams once I select one, though. I stick with them forever. So
now, you're not old enough to remember the classic 85 Georgetown versus Villanova, Raleigh Massimino and John Thompson classic. I'm sure you've heard about it many times, though.
I've certainly heard about it, but I think I was 3 years old at the time, but it just,
great game.
It's probably something I got to get into the archives and dig into, because I've heard about it a lot. I've just never sat down and watched it.
Well, Villanova is not that good this year. They did beat us pretty good, pretty handily in the championship game. I'm speaking of Michigan, obviously, but we did beat them. We did beat them this year in the regular season, but that don't mean anything. We rather have the championship game. But Michigan, they've been playing pretty well. They've stumbled a little bit here toward the end. They beat Maryland today, but I don't watch enough college basketball to even keep up with it. I do know a little bit about Michigan, but I honestly didn't know Kentucky was that good this year because you don't hear much about them. Because normally you hear a lot about Calipari, even if you don't follow college basketball. You'll see him on ESPN or maybe March Madness. I'll see him. I'm Italian, so obviously I like Calipari, even though you hear a lot of, you hear a lot of different things about Calipari.
He sort of has an image out there for sure, but he's not the best X's and O guy, but he certainly develops players, and he has a formula for success. Whether you like the one and done or not, seems like he was earlier to party than most. But even the Dukes of the world are jumping into that philosophy.
Yeah, they got a pretty good payroll there at University of Kentucky, I would say. But anyways, before I let you go, you wanna plug anything for Nepa Pizza Review? I know I saw you today on Facebook with Antonio's pizza shop there, and what city was that?
That's Scranton, Pennsylvania, the Electric City. It's the biggest little city in our area. Great little pizza shop, total throwback. Been there for decades. Antonio's helped me out, helped me celebrate my 5,000th like by donating a gift certificate, so that I can give it away on Facebook. So go ahead and check that out. We're giving away a couple of pies. I guess that's more of a Northeast PA thing. But the other thing I want to plug is just get out there and eat local because, when you shop at a chain, you're paying for a pizza, but those profits are going to stockholders and international corporations. When you shop local, you're sponsoring a little league team, you're buying a girl's dance lessons, and it's all staying in the community. So small businesses like yours, Fredi, are the backbone of this country, and get out there and shop local. Yeah,
think about it. I went to work today, opened up the restaurant, and the money I made today, I went and I took my dollars out here local and took them out to dinner tonight. So it all stayed local.
That's what it's all about.
That's all it's all about. Listen, Jim, I appreciate your friendship. I tell you this all the time. I'm value your friendship even from afar. And one day looking forward to meeting and doing some more podcasts together and networking. And keep up the great work, brother. You're doing great. You're doing great stuff out there.
Likewise, buddy. And I promise we won't go as long as we did this time. My son's here, and I'm back to work, hitting the running.
Yeah, we're going to brainstorm, so we'll just we'll keep in touch through text, and we'll brainstorm.
Excellent.
All right, brother. Thanks for a few minutes, and we'll talk to you soon, okay?
Take it easy, Fredi.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
There you go, Jim Mirabelli of NepaPizzaReview.com. Check out his stuff, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. I don't even know. I forgot to ask him. Is he on Snapchat? He might be on Snapchat. I just got on Snapchat. What a waste of time that is. For me, it is. I don't get the concept of Snap. I don't get the concept of any of them, to be honest with you. But Snapchat, I don't know what the hell that is. But anyways, thank you, Jim, for a few minutes. And stay tuned. I'm gonna replay a little interview I had with Megan Winters of ableeyes.org. Everyone have a great weekend, and talk to you next week. Bye-bye. All right, everyone. As promised, let's talk ableeyes.org. With me, co-founder and CEO, Megan Winters. What's up, Megan?
Hey, Fredi. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Of course. And we want to talk about Able. We talk about it every week on our podcast, Real Talk Autism Podcast, and we thought, well, we should have you on, and we finally got a few minutes. And before we talk about ableeyes.org, tell the listeners a little bit about you and a little bit about your background.
So I guess personally, I have a husband and 2 boys at home. My background professionally is I was a special educator. I taught students with autism for several years, And then I also was an assistant principal for the last 3 years of my career before starting Able Eyes.
Yeah. Now? I obviously I met you and your husband Evan at the golf outing, and thank you so much for being a part of it. Is he part of Able Eyes with you as well?
Yes, he is one of the co-founders and probably one of the main reasons that Able Eyes exists. He kind of created this. This was actually an idea, a dream of mine that I had, I don't know, maybe 7 years ago. And I kind of tried to pursue it back then. It didn't pan out at the time. And then he kind of reintroduced it into my life when he introduced me to Brian Town, who's the CEO of Michigan Creative, and which they're a marketing company in the Lansing area. Mm-hmm. And they were super excited about the idea and became kind of the third co-founder of Able Eyes. And so none of this would even have happened if Evan hadn't made the introduction.
Fantastic. Are you doing this full time? Are you juggling another job or doing this? What are you doing?
This is my full-time gig. I dove in head first. And I was an assistant principal in 2017. And at the end of that school year, I left to pursue this dream.
Yeah, well, that's great. I mean, it's a lot of work. I mean, obviously you know about my charity, and the charity is, between the kids and the restaurant. I don't have time to do any of it, but I do it. It's a ton of work, isn't it? Ton of work.
It is, and right now I'm out of town, and tomorrow I'm out of town, and just really pounding the pavement so that I can get the word out there and share the awesome things that we're doing and provide a great resource and a free resource to families and individuals with all disabilities out in the community.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When you're doing good things like this, your head is always churning to do even more and help even more people. And that takes us to ableeyes.org. Tell the people before we talk about the website and how they can contact you. Tell us more about what Able Eyes does.
So there's actually two services that we provide on the Able Eyes website. The first service is we have video modeling, which is these are very short instructional videos, simple videos. These are it's a research-based strategy, and I used it when I was in the schools. I would make videos to help teach my students, who are typically visual learners, how to complete some very simple tasks without me saying, do this, and kind of saying all the steps. So having just a visual tool that takes all that auditory out of it can be very, very powerful. Mm-hmm. So we have a video modeling library, and then we have 360 virtual tours. And those are, this is really the meat and potatoes of what Able Eyes is. This is an accessibility tool for individuals that maybe have autism or really any disability or even anxiety, so they can virtually experience a location before physically walking in. So it's like what you see on Google Maps or in real estate when you can see a house before you go there. Mm-hmm. Able Eyes allows people to see a space before they go there.
Yeah, and I know with my wife and me, having a child with autism, it's very hard to go to places, especially when they don't know where they're going and what it's all about. This is a great tool.
Absolutely, and it's kind of where obviously where my passion comes from and the idea comes from is, when I was in the schools, I had so many families that were just not going out into the community and not experiencing life and not going on vacations and not even going out to dinner as a family, just out of fear of the unknown, and having a tool where both the family and the child or adult can see that space ahead of time and kind of prepare can really increase the success of going out into the community.
Yes. Well, tell everybody about the website and how they can contact you, email, phone, whatever you want to give out.
Okay, yeah. The website is ableeyes.org, ABLEEYES. And my email address is Megan, MEEGAN, at ableeyes.org. I am very responsive to emails. We're on all forms of social media, so please reach out. That's where we do a lot of our You can sign up for our mailing list and our email newsletters through the website, and that's where a lot of our updates are. So social media is a great way to stay in touch.
Yeah, and I follow them as well on Twitter, on Facebook. I'm sure you are on Instagram as well, Able Eyes. So, and if you missed any of that, if just contact Fredi the Pizza Man, I will put you in touch with Megan and her husband Evan. No doubt about it. So, Megan, thank you very much for a few minutes.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Fredi.
Talk to you soon.
All right,
bye bye.